Okay.
Hi. Okay. So thinking about vector number 3, which is moving through autonomy towards interdependence. And what that essentially means is that, throughout a college student or young adult's life, they are searching for that level of autonomy, that freedom to do their own thing, make their own decisions. But then there's also this piece of interdependence where we're all interconnected. So it's really about finding a balance between those two things. Can you think of a time where you've struggled to find this balance between autonomy and interdependence, and what that experience was like for you?
Well, I could think of one straight away, but it doesn't necessarily apply to college, though I could understand for a lot of people it might happen during college, but it would be, when you and I really became a serious couple, and in that process, I learned that really did have to give up a piece of my own autonomy to make us, function together as a unit. And that was a tough thing to learn and to get through. And we definitely had our fights and our moments with that. But in the end, I think it has made not just myself but both of us stronger and more flexible people, as a result. And basically, what it involves is me realizing that when I make a decision, I can't just act, only for myself and just independently. I need to be considering you too. So when I'm going to, go, see a friend or hang out with some of my friends, it's important to ask you what your schedule for the evening may be like and what you're going to be doing for dinner, and see, if indeed, things would work out for us to go our separate ways, because if you were expecting me to be home, that could cause some issues. So there's a specific, that could be like a specific example that's repeated itself dozens of times over the tenure of our relationship. And most examples root back to that same problem, which is I make a choice. I don't think about how it's going to affect you. I only think about how it's going to affect me. Then I go for it, and I don't realize till too late that you were expecting me to do something totally different, and as a result, we've created a problem for ourselves. So that's kind of, you know, now that we've been together for over 5 years, I think we've both found that balance, and we both have our independence and our interdependence, and we're both acutely aware of that, which is, I think that's success.
Now, you said you had to give up a piece of your autonomy.
Uh huh.
Do you feel like you've given something up, or are you just looking at it differently?
No, I think that, this might be a little bit off topic, but I think relationships involve sacrifice to make them work. I think that I think I have given up a piece of my own autonomy, but I'm very okay with it, because what I get in return is so great and so wonderful. But I think you can say you just look at something differently, but in my opinion, um, I think I am giving up the choice to do whatever I want, whenever I want, because I'm thinking about not just myself, but about us as a unit. So for me, that's the way I see it.
So I think you've kind of moved us into the next vector, actually, which is developing mature interpersonal relationships.
Oh.
Um, so I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about how you've seen yourself do that over the course of the last, I would say, 10 years through college and beyond. Obviously, you talked a little bit about, your romantic relationship with me, but what about mature relationships with parents or friends?
So mature interpersonal relationships. Um, well, over the last 10 years, my relationships with, you know, all, I have a lot of parents, for those of you, out there on the internet watching this. Um, I have a mom, dad, they've both been divorced and remarried. I have step parents. My relationships with all of my parents has changed over the last 10 years, to become, it's just different than it was before, because when I was, 10 years younger, I was 17, 18, they were my they took care of me. They would give me money when I need it. They were real parents to me. And now there's a certain equality to our relationship in that they respect me for being an adult, and I sort of interact with them a little bit differently too. Like with my mom, um, she is trying to start up and sort of run her own business. She works in education, and she wants to start her own kind of tutoring, business, and being an educational advocate for people. And since I run my own business, here I am giving her advice about what she should be doing, looking over her resume, helping her edit the content for her website so that it has the most marketing appeal. And 10 years earlier, I would be the one asking my mom for advice for her to look at my papers and stuff. So it's funny how the tables have turned in that sense. So I guess, in terms of interpersonal relationships, I guess, I've seen both sides of it now with people that previously I only seen one side. So that's kind of an interesting way to look at it. I don't know if that's what you're looking for, but
No, that's great.
Okay.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that with us.
I'm happy to share it.